Welcome to Voodoo Whiskey Gaming, and as you may have noticed, I'm rocking some Blizzard-related gear. Why? Because I'm reviewing Overwatch. I played it on the Xbox One, it's also available on the PS4 and PC. As for the story, well, I don't really know what it is because Overwatch doesn't actually have a campaign. Which, honestly, I find as a bit of a drawback. I would have liked it if they had even done something similar to Titanfall or Battleborn, where there is a campaign, there's some minor cutscenes, some explanation, some narrative, something like that, but then the actual gameplay is still done multiplayer. I'd really enjoy seeing something like that for this game, simply because the characters are so interesting in this game that I really want to know more about them, more about their world, etc. As for the sound design, it's fantastic in this game. It really fits with what you're seeing. The sound effects really match up to kind of the cartoony look and just in general what you're seeing on the screen while you're playing. They match the characters, they match the environments, they match the weapons, and that's what you want to see in a game like this. The voiceover work is great. It fits the cartoony feel. Each of the characters has a very unique sound and personality that's brought to life by the voiceover actors. Now, as for the gameplay and controls, it's a first-person shooter, but it's a very unique first-person shooter in that each of the characters is very unique and they each play very differently, not unlike Battleborn, but this is a completely different game than Battleborn. Battleborn is a co-op and versus game, whereas Overwatch is just a versus game. Overwatch honestly reminds me a lot of Team Fortress 2, except for with a lot more characters to choose from. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a lot of game modes. The one thing I do like is that the game modes that they do have are objective-based. One's kind of like King of the Hill, one's kind of like capture the objective, move on to the next objective. One is capture a point and then follow and escort a vehicle of some sort to its final destination. But that having been said, for a game that's purely multiplayer, I really would have liked to see more game modes, just mix it up somehow. I'm hoping that there will be more to come, but as it stands, there's only 3 game modes. They do have a few ways of varying those. You can play against AIs, you can play against players, or you can play against players in some unique mode where people will have like boosted damage or more health, etc. Like I said earlier, the game has a bunch of different characters, and they each have their own purpose. You have healers, you have builders, you have attackers, and defenders. My biggest complaint with this game is the same that I have with any purely multiplayer game, and that is your teammates, randoms, whatever you want to call them. You're going to run into people who don't know what they're doing, who aren't going to work together, and that's a problem because this is very much a team-based game. Now, when it comes to the controls, you kind of have to adapt with each character, but it doesn't really matter because the controls are so on point that it's very easy to adapt to the faster characters, switching over from like a slower character. And lastly, the graphics. I kind of mentioned it earlier, but it's a very cartoony looking game, but it looks great. It's a beautiful game. I really like the environments and the character designs. At the end of my Battleborn review, I asked which of these type of games were you excited for, Battleborn, Overwatch, etc. I'm really kind of ashamed of myself for including Overwatch with Battleborn because quite simply, while they're multiplayer, unique characters, and kind of cartoony graphics, beyond that, they're completely different. They really are. One is very much arena-based, one is very much co-op based. So just keep that in mind. I will say, I loved this game. It was worth every penny. I'm having a ton of fun playing it. I'll probably keep playing it for quite a while. Same with Battleborn. It just depends on what I'm in the mood for that day. So if you couldn't guess, I am definitely recommending this as a buy. Okay, so in the comments below, why don't you tell me who your favorite Overwatch character is? Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. And if you like what I'm doing in general, share, subscribe. Have a good one.